Hello, welcome to my channel. It's your boy Shani and I'm back with another video. Wherever you're watching me from, I say peace to you, and let's get started. Today is the 6th of March 2018 and it marks the 61st independence celebration of my country, Ghana, West Africa. So I just want to make a video about Africa today. The reason being that if you look back into history, the white man or the colonial masters left the shores of my country, Ghana, and other parts of Africa for almost 60 years now. Or yes, some countries they have never even been there, like Ethiopia. So my country is celebrating 61 years of independence, and still there are a lot of problems with being independent for 61 years. So before you come and say, oh, our inability to develop is because of the colonial powers that took over our countries, ask yourself, we've been free for 61 years. Now, what have we done for ourselves? Let's put that aside. Let's talk about unity within Africa. How united are the African people? I don't think we are united. There are still barriers and there are still borders. Yes, there are still borders all across Africa. In fact, from Ghana to Nigeria, you are going to meet about 6 or maybe 5 borders. From Ghana to Togo there is a border, and then from Togo to Benin there is another border, then Benin to Nigeria. So like 4 borders. See that? Just one people. We are supposed to be one people, because within this region there's the likelihood that you find a group of people that speak the same language. For example, Ghana and Togo, there are groups that still speak the same language up till today, like the Evers or the Anglo. Some people call them Ibe or Anglo. They speak the same language. If you go to Benin, you probably find some people that speak the same language with Nigeria. So why are there still barriers? There is no unity among African countries, and that is what I want to talk about today. To make this video short, let's look at some of the points or some of the things that is holding us back and why we can never be united if we don't do away with these things. Number one is tribalism. Even in the same country, you still find ethnic groups, which is possible everywhere in Africa. There is no country that is homogeneous, like they speak the same language and they are the same people. No, ethnicity wise they are different, or tribal wise they are different. But that should not make us not like each other. You know, the diversity should have been something we celebrate and try to learn from each other. We don't do that. We are busy fighting each other. Example, if you are maybe in Nigeria, we have Hausas and Igbo people or Yoruba and all that. These people don't get along sometimes. Although they all live in the same country, they don't get along. The same thing if you come to my country, Ghana, there are some people, there are certain tribes that do not get along till this day. And I know for sure everywhere in Africa this problem exists. Yet we have the African Union. What are they doing about it? I think the African Union has been there for more than 50 years. I don't know. Maybe, I'm sure. It's been there for long. It was Organization of African Union or OAU. Now it's African Union. The same story. What are they doing about it? Nothing. Another thing is religion. Religion has divided the African people to the extent the same people, the same ethnic group will fight each other. The same tribe will fight each other because of their religious differences, whether they are Muslims or Christians, which we all adopted. You understand? We Africans, we adapted both Christianity and Islam. It's not our religion. We all converted at a point in time, but we still kill each other because of these religions. Back in the days when everybody used to worship whatever they worship, there was nothing like religious crisis in Africa. That is a fact. Every household have their gods or goddess or whatever, or anything they believe in, and they worship it, and there is peace. You go to your neighbor's house, they worship different things from what you worship in your house. They have different names for their gods. Everybody was free. I'm not saying you should go back to that, but I'm just saying that religion has not contributed anything to help us as Africans. Go to Nigeria, you see Igbos and Hausas, they are fighting because of religion, Christianity and Islam. The same thing in other countries, Central African Republic and other countries. You can mention them yourself, you know. Whenever there's a conflict in Africa, religion plays a part, apart from the tribalism. Number 3 is language. Since independence of the African people, since the colonial masters left up till now, we have never, the African Union has never sit down and say, okay, let's create, or let's come together and choose a language that every African should learn so that we'll be able to trade. We still use our colonial languages like English and French, Portuguese, Spanish, whatever. We have not been able to come out to make an organized language, you know, to come out, okay, like let's say in the South they have Swahili, or maybe they have Xhosa, or they have Zulu or something. They will just make it in such a way that those from the southern part of Africa will all understand one language. Apart from their own languages, I'm not saying you should leave your language, but there should be something like that. The same thing in West Africa. We have not come out to say, okay, we the West Africans, we are going to learn one language. We'll make it in such a way that every school in every country will learn this language so that it will help us to communicate as Africans. No, we don't do that, and that is another problem. That is a big problem we should look into. The third one, as I mentioned previously, is borders. Every small country have a border. Look, in West Africa, we use the ECOWAS passport, which I believe Ghana, Nigeria, and other countries, maybe Togo and I don't know, uses the same passport, ECOWAS passport. But what do we see? Travel to the border and see what the customs are going to do to you. They will treat you like outsider, although you holding the passport that says Economic Community of West African States. They don't care. They don't care. They will treat you as an outsider. And sometimes there are bribes. You have to pay bribes to get into another country. Come on, Africans, where are we going with this? We should form some sort of organization that is going to combat all this border nonsense. Really, I don't think there should have been borders that are stopping we in particular West Africans. We are one people, yet we create borders because the European or the colonial masters, they did it. They created the borders, and then we maintain it just because we love so much power. Africans, we love so much power, and this has also contributed to some of our problems. Until we are free as Africans to move from one place to the other without any borders stopping us, we will never be united. Then number 3 is superiority. This is some kind of, it's almost like racism or tribalism in Africa, whereby because he is this tribe, I am better than him. Maybe because he's Fulani and I am maybe I'm Igbo, or maybe I'm Yoruba, I'm better than him because he is not educated, or he lived this kind of lifestyle. Or because maybe in Ghana you say, maybe because he's from the north and I'm from the south, I'm better than him. we need to stop all this. Excuse me. If we do not stop this, there is no way Africa will move forward. I know in every country this problem exists. I'm focusing on the West because I'm from West Africa, but I know in the East this problem is in the East, in the South, maybe in the North. I don't know much about the North, but there might be problems like this. So as Africans, we are not just going to form this African Union, sit back, relax, send the old men every now and then to an organization in Ethiopia, Addis Ababa. They go and sit down, eat, drink, laugh, chat, come back home, and there's no improvement. This thing has been going on for some time now, and we the youth, we need to rise up, wake up and think that these organizations are just not helping us. If we need to form another organizations, so be it, as far as it's going to help us. But for now, I don't think African Union is playing the part it was created to perform. There's nothing you can smile about the African Union. There are still wars going on, a lot of killings, and to mention but a few, our leaders have sold themselves. They have sold their dignity to the extent any foreigner, whether Chinese, whether European or whatever, will come to our countries, shit on us, take whatever is valuable, and leave the continent. And no one says anything because the leader has his cut. He took his part. Then that's all. We the youth, we suffer. Look at what the Chinese are doing to our lands. I'm not against Chinese, but in my country, for instance, they are everywhere doing illegal activities like mining for gold. Can we do that in China? It's never possible. You will be hanged. You will be hanged. Or you'll be imprisoned for life. But they come to our countries, take whatever they want to take. Look at the companies in Africa. Almost all the companies, I don't know about Nigeria, but in Ghana, most of the companies are owned by foreigners. Okay? It's true. There's no politics about it. Whether it's from the other part or the other party, they are all the same. When the leaders come, they do not create any meaningful jobs. They do not create companies or factories, nothing. All the factories that are running in Ghana are private, from foreign investors, and we're not doing anything about it. The ones that are supposed to be Ghanaian owned businesses or companies have their funds somewhere from Europe or somewhere. So legally they don't own it, okay, because the funds are coming from somewhere, and at the end of the day the money goes back to whoever funded the company. So we need to rise up as Africans. We need to first of all stop this tribalism, stop the religious ambiguous things we're doing, this bigotry. We need to stop it, and then we learn a language that is going to open all the barriers so that we can migrate or we can integrate and then have a very good future for Africa. If not, we are not going anywhere. So this is what I want to say. Happy birthday to Ghana and to every African out there. Peace. If you're watching this video and then you like it, you can subscribe to my channel for more videos. Thanks a lot. Till next time, I'll make another video. Bye bye.